In the co-main event of the Canelo vs. Berlanga card, Danny Garcia faced WBA middleweight champion Erislandy Lara at the T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas. Here we have some of the best reactions by the boxing pros.
First of all, I want to thank God. I want to thank Al Heyman. I want to thank Prime, my team, Garcia, all my fans around the world. I'm sorry. I came off a 2-year layoff. I stepped up a weight class. I tried to be great. It wasn't my night. No excuses.
776 days off is an awful long time in boxing, and then to try to accomplish this, was it just not able to find the rhythm or find the old Danny?
Well, probably so. I didn't think the layoff would affect me, but this is only my second fight in like 4 years, so there's no excuses. I guess I couldn't catch my rhythm. I haven't been active. Maybe that was the reason, or maybe he was just better than me tonight.
In the fight before that, Danny Garcia kind of going down in his own right. A lot of fans very disappointed. I heard the Q word in the crowd about 10 or 12 times to quit. People thought that Danny Garcia just kind of gave up. What was your assessment of what happened with Danny?
Paycheck. He looked like he was here to get a paycheck, and he looked like something might be wrong with him, and the way that his father moved to stop the fight at the end suggested maybe his father saw something in training that made him aware that Danny was not going to be competitive against Erislandy Lara. So I'm impressed with Lara, but he wasn't in against a real opponent tonight.
I feel good. I did my job. Fighting 12 rounds is hard work, especially against a tough fighter like Danny Garcia. He's a great champion in the lower divisions, like I said before. But now, I did what I had to do, and I feel great.
Danny Garcia has returned to the ring after more than 2 years of inactivity to challenge Erislandy Lara. Some thought it might play in his favor or against him. Paulie Malignaggi voiced his thoughts on Danny Garcia's extended break from the ring, dismissing the idea that inactivity helps fighters stay fresh. He questioned that reasoning and pointed out that aging happens regardless of time off from competition.
This weird thing that in boxing where guys think just because they don't take damage or they don't fight, they stay fresh. As if aging stops only in boxing.
Malignaggi further clarified that this belief is unique to the boxing world and isn't grounded in reality. He argued that just like in any other profession, such as being a cook or a toolmaker, time doesn't pause and aging continues even if fighters aren't actively in the ring.
And the rest of life, even if you're a shoemaker or if you're a toolmaker or if you're a cook, you age every day and you still get older. But in boxing, apparently, when you don't fight, you stay fresh and you stay young. And only in the boxing universe of thinking. In reality, though, you're getting older regardless.
Paulie Malignaggi continued his analysis by highlighting the importance of activity, especially for fighters like Danny Garcia, who rely heavily on timing. Malignaggi stressed that staying active is crucial to maintaining sharpness in the ring, and having a long period of inactivity could be detrimental. He added, "You're a timing fighter to this degree. Activity really matters. Having been inactive for a while could kind of play against you." At the same podcast, Chris Algieri also talked about how both of them were timing-based fighters. He emphasized that Lara, in particular, has been continuously training and living the fighter's lifestyle throughout his career. Algieri mentioned Lara's Cuban background, pointing out that Lara's lifelong commitment to training and staying ready gives him an edge in terms of preparation.
Timing fighters, and Lara's actually been in the ring. Lara's been in camp, but Lara's been living this lifestyle. He's Cuban, man. He's been training his entire life.
Chris Algieri continued to praise Erislandy Lara's dedication to maintaining a high level of performance even at this age. He pointed out that Lara's disciplined lifestyle and sharpness in training have allowed him to compete at an elite level despite his age.
And has kept himself very sharp and clean. Clean lifestyle, and you can see that at 41 years old being able to perform the way that he's performing.
Chris Algieri pointed out that Garcia has only secured one win in the past few years and is entering a weight class in which he has never competed before. Algieri noted that Garcia's ability to walk straight into a world title fight is largely due to his name recognition, built from his long and successful career. He said, "Danny Garcia had one win in the last 4 years, and he's never fought at this weight class. How do you walk into a world title fight? Name recognition? That's how." Algieri then shifted to the state of the middleweight division, highlighting that the fact Garcia is getting a title shot at 160 pounds against a 41-year-old champion like Erislandy Lara reflects the lack of depth in the division. He suggested that the middleweight class is struggling to maintain top-level talent. He added, he's getting this fight because obviously because of his name he's earned his stripes, but to walk right into a title fight against a 41-year-old champion, that just shows you how limited the 160-pound middleweight division is. It's a barren wasteland. This was not about age and gap that Danny took, but there were multiple factors that were putting the boxing analysts in doubt. Coach Reg, while expressing his loyalty and support for Danny Garcia, acknowledged the difficulty of the challenge Garcia faced against Erislandy Lara. As a fellow native of Garcia's hometown, Reg made it clear that he wanted to see Garcia win, but was quick to emphasize that Lara shouldn't be underestimated.
You know, of course, I want Danny to win. He's from the city. I mean, but can't sleep on Lara, man. Yeah. Can't sleep on Lara. Everybody say Lara getting old. What are Lara, 40 now?
41? Yeah. Still treating dudes.
Coach Reg further elaborated on the strategy Danny Garcia needed to adopt to win against Erislandy Lara. He emphasized the importance of Garcia landing his punches, acknowledging that Lara's boxing skills could give him the upper hand if the fight became a technical battle. He added, Danny just got to land because realistically Lara can box. Lara may try outboxing him, but I just want to see Danny win. This fight between Danny Garcia and Erislandy Lara had been anticipated for years due to both fighters standing in the sport and Garcia's move up to middleweight. Sean Zittel reflected on this build-up, suggesting that while the fight took longer than expected to materialize, it was now evenly matched.
So not only is it an overdue fight, it's a fight that maybe never should have happened, but it's here, and it's almost 50-50.
Sean Zittel also knew how fans had followed Danny Garcia and Erislandy Lara's matchup for years. He noted that while the outcome of the fight may not significantly alter the middleweight division, it still held importance due to the stature of both fighters and the history leading up to it.
We did follow these two guys for some years. So even though whoever wins this fight may not really go on to do anything in the middleweight division, it does matter next Saturday night, because it's Lara and Danny.
Angel Garcia, Danny Garcia's father and trainer, confidently predicted that Danny would start gaining momentum after the third round in his fight against Erislandy Lara. He emphasized that once Danny picked up the pace and started working his body shots, Lara would be in trouble. He stated, if anything, when Danny starts getting busy after the third he'll start putting leather on him, working him downstairs. I'd say the 7th or 6th round, he's gone. Angel Garcia predicted that Danny would tire Lara out by targeting the body, making him show signs of aging as the fight progresses. However, Angel also acknowledged that Lara is a champion for a reason and shouldn't be underestimated. He added, he'll tire him out, beat him to the body and show his age. I'm not going to say he's old. He's not old. He's a champion for a reason. Defying all the odds, this fight was good for the business. Sean Porter reflected on the business side of boxing, emphasizing Danny Garcia's continued marketability. He explained how, from a business perspective, Garcia remains a valuable asset for promoters because he can still attract fans and generate revenue.
You got a Danny Garcia who is still marketable. You can still make money promoting a Danny Garcia, and I hate to make it sound like we're just meat and you just promote us and make money off of us, but it's realistic. That's how boxing is.
Sean Porter called it a nightmare fight for Danny Garcia. He acknowledged the excitement around facing a legendary Cuban fighter like Erislandy Lara, but warned that Garcia's team might overestimate their ability to handle Lara's style.
I think that this is a nightmare fight for Danny Garcia. I think that they're excited about it because they know this is Lara. This is a legendary Cuban fighter. But I think they may be overestimating their ability to catch up to Lara.
Porter then warned everyone that Lara's movement remains a key factor and must not be underestimated. He reminded everyone that Lara's ability to stop, throw sharp punches, and then quickly move out of range has long made him a challenging opponent.
Considering his age, thinking that may have slowed him down enough for him, but I gotta be honest, once upon a time, none of us was trying to see Erislandy Lara because of his movement and because of his ability to stop and just pop and then get moving again.
Sean Porter candidly shared advice his father once gave him regarding a potential fight with Erislandy Lara. He revealed that his father was against taking the fight, describing it as an ugly fight that would be difficult, even if they were confident in winning. Porter acknowledged that while they believed they could defeat Lara, the entire fight would be a grueling experience due to Lara's challenging style. He said, "I'll go ahead and keep it real. My dad said, no, we don't want that fight. That's an ugly fight for Sean because we know we're gonna beat him, but it's just going to be hell the whole way." Erislandy Lara Lara and Danny Garcia had polar opposite styles, but they still managed to give a hell of a fight. Lara, with a record of 30 wins, 3 losses, 3 draws, and a total of 18 KOs, is known for his defensive skill and precision. He has held multiple titles, including the WBA World Middleweight and Super Welterweight Championships, and is recognized for facing elite opponents like Canelo Alvarez. Danny Garcia, boasting 37 wins and 3 losses, making it to 21 KOs, has earned titles in the super lightweight and welterweight divisions. His strengths lie in his timing and counterpunching, with victories over top fighters like Amir Khan. So with these incredible stats, this fight was very hard to pick from. Kieron Davis called it a good comparative fight. Of all the fights on the card, he was sure that it would test how much both fighters have left in the tank. He described it as a crossroads bout for both men, where their current skills and endurance will be on display.
I think it's a really good competitive fight. We have to see how much Danny has left, see how much Lara has left. I think it's a good crossroads fight. I think it's a fight that could have been happening, but you know, it's good that it's happening now.
Kieron Davis discussed the matchup between Erislandy Lara and Danny Garcia, highlighting the contrasting styles of both fighters. He pointed out that Lara, while primarily known for his technical skills, can also punch effectively, and Garcia is a strong counterpuncher who always manages to stay competitive, regardless of the circumstances in the fight. He said, "It's an interesting fight, you know, we got Lara, who's also a puncher, and you got Danny Garcia, who's a great counterpuncher and always finds a way to stay close in the fight no matter what." Davis found the fight particularly unpredictable, admitting that he has no clear favorite. He mentioned that he constantly changes his mind about who might win and wouldn't feel confident betting on such an uncertain outcome. He added, "I think it's a good fight. I don't really have a winner in that fight. I go back and forth about who I think is going to win. I wouldn't bet on that fight. It's just too unpredictable." Danny Garcia has been in very high spirits before the fight at this weight class, despite him landing for the first time against a giant like Lara. Danny Garcia stated that he believes in his ability to come out on top. Garcia highlighted that his motivation for taking the fight stemmed from his belief that he is the superior fighter and can secure a victory. He said, "I'm the better man, and that's why I wanted this fight, because I believe I can beat him." Danny Garcia then showed his aim of making history by becoming the first fighter to stop Erislandy Lara. He mentioned that throughout his career he's been the first to stop several fighters, and believes doing the same with Lara would solidify his win and the championship. Garcia views this potential knockout as the icing on the cake for his already accomplished career. He said, "I would love to be the first person to stop Lara. If I could stop him and just for sure guarantee that championship, that'll be the icing on the cake." Danny Garcia spoke about the significance of becoming a 3-division world champion. He expressed pride in his accomplishments and acknowledged that achieving this next title would be historic for him. Garcia also mentioned that at this stage of his career, he feels he's giving the fans something extra, and winning this fight would mean everything to him. He said, "To be a 3-division world champ, I feel like I already accomplished so much, and for me to win this fight, it would just be everything." Now that Danny has defied all the odds and has finally made it to the fight, there still are concerns about it. Troy Isley, a promising young middleweight boxer, expressed his frustration regarding Erislandy Lara holding onto his title and his decision to fight Danny Garcia. Isley questioned why Lara was fighting Garcia instead of facing more relevant contenders, suggesting that Lara might be holding onto the belt without taking on stronger competition.
They might as well, I don't know what, like, they might as well just retire, man. I don't know what they doing. They holding on to the belt. Come on, bro. What are y'all doing? What are you doing, man? Why you fighting Danny, bro? Come on, bro.
Troy Isley voiced his frustration over Danny Garcia's quick rise in the middleweight rankings, questioning how Garcia managed to bypass other fighters in the division. Isley, who has been competing at 160 pounds for longer, expressed disbelief at Garcia's sudden title shot against Erislandy Lara, feeling it was undeserved. He added, "How does Danny get to the rankings? How does he get all the way to the rankings? I don't get that, bro. I've been fighting at 160 longer than he has. I didn't even know he was in the rankings." Haven Brady Jr. also gave his thoughts on the fight between Erislandy Lara and Danny Garcia, calling it a 50-50 matchup. He pointed out that it all depends on which version of each fighter shows up on the night, as both are coming off layoffs. Brady highlighted that it's a comeback fight for both Lara and Garcia, making it hard to predict the outcome, but expressed his excitement to see how it unfolds. He said, "I think it's 50-50. It all depends. It's a comeback fight for both of them. I can't wait to see how it's going to end." Haven Brady Jr. remarked that Garcia needs to tap into his past form. perform. Brady highlighted Garcia's impressive resume, noting that if he can perform like he did when he was a world champion, he stands a strong chance of winning. He added, "I feel like he just got to be the Danny Garcia that he was. He probably has one of the hardest resumes in boxing. He was a world champion, so he knows what to do." Now that the fight is over, we want to know what you thought. How did you feel about the matchup between Erislandy Lara and Danny Garcia? What was your favorite moment in the fight? Do you think the result matched your expectations? Let us know in the comments. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more fight analysis, updates, and all things boxing.